Good morning, park managers. Today we've got something a little bit different for our community site B. Well, I took advantage of the sale on Jurassic World on Steam and got Jurassic World on there because eventually I do want to have a mess around with mods. The way I played it on PC before was because I had an Xbox Game Pass, which I don't have anymore, so I was back on console. So I thought with the sale on, I may as well get it on there, as if you want all the DLC and the game, it's about £50 if I remember rightly on the top of my head. So I jumped in and went for that, and now I've all the DLC. Now the only problem with that, I've now got to play all the challenge modes again to get the certain skin patterns, because I've already had one request and I was like, why can I not find that skin pattern? And I looked at the padlock, I was like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be that skin pattern that I was not able to select. So that gives me a few options. I might be able to live stream depending if I can get everything sorted and ready. Either that, or I can just do videos of me doing playthroughs of the challenge mode. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see. Now back to the community site B. As you can see right now, I'm making my island. I'm picking the herbivores I want on the island as like the main food source to begin with, because I know there'll be a few, well, there is a few carnivores getting added straight away, and they're going to need something to eat. So I picked, remember rightly, Struthiomimus, Chasmosaurus, uh, Coryphosaurus. Was there another one I picked? Or did I pick three? Oh yeah, Nodosaurus as well. I'll pick that as well. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I've already glossed over. I'm watching this as I'm like doing the voiceover in like times 10 speed, so it isn't like over an hour and a half long video. So make it kind of short. I think I bring it down into about 15 minutes. But as you can see right now, I'm building the hills of my islands. So what I'll do is I will add the rock to it. Some islands I don't go heavily on the rock, and then others I add like a lot of like veiny rock kind of vibes to it. Gives places for pterosaurs to land down on, and also just adds from like for some interesting photos and coverage, and adds just a lot more to the mountains when you do them like that. Well, for me personally, I like it like that. Right now, I was just sort of like having a look at the different brushes. I don't really play on the Sanctuary that much. As it Sanctuary, BioSyn Valley, should I say, not Sanctuary. I don't play on it that much, and I don't know why. Like, it's probably one of the coolest biomes you can pick because you have that rolling fog effect. And I was wondering, like, I knew it was on the main map. I was wondering if it was on the square, and luckily for me, I saw it come through the trees, the rolling fog effect, and I was like, yeah, that's really, it's really cool and makes for some interesting photos. So I've no idea why I've never thought about making a site B on the BioSyn Valley map. Obviously, this is the square one, so I can make my like really big islands the way that I want them to look. And hopefully that rolling fog will eventually lead to me getting some very interesting screenshots and interesting shots of the animals on the site B. Something I wish was selectable on like different maps. Like I feel like that'd be cool on the jungle map, like especially when you make the swamps in that area, because it would be kind of cool seeing that rolling fog going through the swamp. I kind of do something similar on here. Like right now, as you can see, I'm doing these bowls to put in like different like herbivore shrubbery, and it's almost like it's a different climate that's been trapped in there, and that's why that tropical looking plant matter has been able to grow. On the top of the hills, add a little water source as well as some shrubbery for like the long necks to eat. It also makes creatures go up and down the hills more often rather than completely avoiding them, because if there's nothing to drink or eat up there, they're not going to go up there. So that's why I've added that, just so there's some like drag up and down the hills as it were, and we'll see them actually being used. And again, I'll probably get some interesting screenshots from up on those hills, like looking down the dinosaur and then having that backdrop of the island in the background, which I feel like will be pretty cool when we get some more creatures on this island. Now, as you can see right now, I'm doing the vein work. So where I've like put the trees, I've made it sure that it wasn't on the painted rock, and then I add the rocks to it. This took me a very long time to do. Like obviously right now we're seeing it really quickly, but whilst I was doing this, it felt really like tedious to do something like this, because it just took ages. I don't know why it took me ages, but I was like, stopping, looking at it, like, oh, do I like it like that? Try not to put too much rock on the veins, so then it's not like blocking dinosaurs. Like right here, I was sort of like thinking I can't do a full circle around here of rocks because otherwise creatures aren't going to get to that water source other than the pterosaurs themselves. So I still need like open gates, as it were, for them to get up there. See from the distance when you're looking at it, it looks really cool just seeing the rock veins going all the way down. Again, gives pterosaurs a lot of places to rest on, and also just adds like a really cool feature to the island itself. In a bit as well, we're going to get onto the actual new additions to this brand new island. Obviously, we'll have all the herbivores that I'll be adding anyways, and then I'll be doing the new additions to the island, what you guys have picked in the comments. So yeah, remember, put down what dinosaur you like. If you want to have like a particular skin colour or pattern colour, put that down. As well, if you want to give them a name, I do name them and I do favourite them, so then I can sort of keep an eye on what's still alive and what's perished. Also gives me the opportunity, if there's a carnivore hunt going on, I can actually see when that's happening really easily, or a social animation, and get that sort of recorded. And I add all these recordings at the end of this little talk through and showing off what's being added. And as well, something I'm going to probably do as well, obviously this is sort of like a completely wild site B where only dropping them off onto the island. So next week I'd probably build one with the automated like herbivore feeders, so it's just a constant stream of like new herbivores being added to the island, and it's more like an operational site B. Basically right now, this is how I get all the herbivores onto this type of island. I just make a lot of them, and then I use the jeep to herd them down that little funnel I've made using the BioSyn invisible barriers. It's a little bit tedious getting them all on. As you can see, this can take quite a while, and obviously this is a really big map as well, like lots of different islands, and you see I've managed to sort of get them on like clusters of them around the islands, and they're sort of like fanning out themselves, so then there is an already right food source. Anyways, this is my addition to the island. Like, I really like that Spanostraco. It looks so cool, and I named this one Steve. I've been watching Cloud of Meatballs with my kids, so that's where I got the name from. So our first addition that you guys have picked is Brody, who wanted a T-Rex named Cupcake, and I could pick any colour and pattern. So I went for this sort of green colour right here, as it's sort of like evergreen, and I feel like I might camouflage into the bushes, and when you get the rolling fog in, I might be able to get a really interesting screenshot of it, and it looks really cool and does blend in with the island. Next up, we have Oliver the capybara that wanted Pachyrhinosaurus with random skin colours and patterns. So yeah, that's what I did. I left it down to the hatchery to pick those random colours, and they look really cool. I love that green one, and there is an orange one which looks really cool as well, just there at the back. I do love these creatures, and possibly one of my like favourite ceratopsids in the game. Our next suggestion comes from Emperor Jimmy, who wanted a fully brown Tarbosaurus and name him Buzz, and so that's what I've gone and done. I love the Tarbosaurus like entrance theme as it's coming from the hatchery. That's this really like low clicking sound, just checking around, making sure the area is safe. I've added him to like further to the back of the island where there's a few herbivores, so it looks really cool there. This name really does get me sometimes, but I had to add it anyways because I do like Ankylosaurus and I do love Bumpy as well. I love the 2001 movie skin for Ankylosaurus. I feel like it looks so cool, especially with the red around the eyes. And then we have Bumpy as well, so there's three of those, and then there's Bumpy. I've added it to one of the islands that are closer to the hatchery. So our next suggestion comes from Hamburger, who wanted Brachiosaurus as it's their favourite dinosaur, and also to name them Hamburger. So I've gone and done that. I added the original skin to the island, and it's already made its way to the top of the tallest mountain, and it looks great up there. Next up we have Deacon, who wanted 2 Albertosauruses with like very particular skins named Cheeto, this one being Cheeto right here, and then this one being named Oreo, which is a very fitting name for like the colours of the dinosaurs, and they look really great and they roam around together as well, which is pretty cool. Then we have Liam with my favourite dinosaur wanting the Carnotaurus, and he wanted it white and called Toast, and it looks so cool. Like you only get like the reflection of the light in certain lighting, and then it looks this sort of like greyish colour. It's really cool, like, and look like rolling fog. Jano wanted 4 white and black Herrerasauruses and to name one of them Oreo, so I went and did that and added them to the small, really small island right at the back, which they have stayed and not left yet, and they look great on that island. Next up we have Aquaspino, who wanted a Savannah style Dreadnoughtus, so I did go for the sort of like desert colours with it, and it looks absolutely brilliant. I used the Dreadnoughtus from the 2020 rather than the originals. I do love this one very much, with the way it looks and the design of it, and it absolutely stands out on this island. It's made its way from the main island to one of the little side ones. Ocfortatus wanted Suchomimus with a very particular skin colour and pattern, and to name it Izzy. Well, unfortunately for this one, I didn't have the pattern. This is the one I was on about a little bit earlier, so I'm going to have to play those challenge modes to get that pattern unlocked for future editions. And our last edition for today is Violet, who wanted Quetzalcoatlus named Biscuit with a very particular skin pattern, and it looks epic. I'm loving those colours and shades of green, and as you can see I've named it Biscuit, and that has ventured pretty much all the way around the island till it's sort of like settled down in the top left. And yeah, that brings us to the end of our editions, and I hope you enjoyed these next little screenshots I've got ready for you, and till next time, I'll see you later.